And then once you're settled in, legs up the wall is always good. Once your body feels a little bit more settled, then turn your focus to your breath and breathe in through your nose and out through your nose. Using your breath to ease your body and release any tensions. And if you feel able to, close your eyes and then focus your attention just in staring at the dark space behind your closed eyelids. Just check that your hips and knees and ankles are feeling comfortable. Because what happens the instant you take your legs up, especially if your bottom's directly underneath your feet, is that you're taking away all the strain from being on your feet, or even having been sitting for a while. So just check that your feet, knees and hips feel comfortable, and try to visualize your thighs, the thigh bones, just dropping into your hip sockets. I know a lot of you are aware that I found a really lovely book one night at Chinley, and it was Peter Egoskew's E-sizes, and he has done an awful lot of research into taking weight off and doing very particular moves to prevent worsening of degeneration in the joints. So I was straight in there. What he says in his book is that if you're able to get your legs up the wall like this for about 45 minutes at a time, you give your joints enough time to allow the cartilage that's wearing away when you're walking to regenerate. So it rehydrates and then it just begins to become healthy again. So it's a good thing to do. We can't do it for 45 tonight, but you know it's there if you feel as if you can or you want to. So just take a lovely long slow deep breath in and check through your body like a quick body scan from the crown of your head all the way down, making sure that you're not consciously holding on to tension. And tonight we've got one or two lovely spine releases and hip releases. And the hips in particular, we can hold physical tension when we are holding on to feelings that aren't too comfortable. So be aware of that when we're doing the hip opening stretch, which tonight is going to be Happy Baby. But from where you are now, we've got a little transition, and it's going to be from this leg straight up the wall to just taking your legs apart. And you can keep your heels on the wall if that's comfortable. If you haven't got a wall there, and if you're on a couch or a bed, just take your thighs apart so your knees are rolling out. But if your legs are straight, you're doing the same kind of thing that you would do in a wide leg forward fold, but without the fold, just with the wide legs. Take a lovely long slow deep breath in, and as you breathe out, just inch your heels a little bit further apart and put your hands onto your inner thighs. Check that your back feels comfortable, that you're not suddenly arching your back, and let your legs just fall apart. Inner thigh stretching, and that's really important for your hip flexibility. And just keep your gaze straight up. If you feel as if you'd like to close your eyes, you can close your eyes. So completely restorative. And you're in a restorative pose, able to let go and just focus on your breathing, so that every single pose is much more than a physical movement. It's very much about the meditative side, the releasing side, the yin side of yoga. And the next pose that we're going to do is just stay where you are, back on the floor, and the legs are going to come up to about hip distance apart. So feet aren't together for this one. And then you just lift your heels away from the wall and bend your knees. So the soles of your feet point directly upwards, your ankles directly above your knee, and if you can take hold of the big toes, but make sure your head and shoulders stay down on the floor. If you can't reach your big toes, just take hold of your ankles. Breathe in, and as you breathe out, you ease your knees either side of your rib cage. So it's like a sumo wrestler's squat, but upside down. I know some people feel comfortable doing it this way, holding onto the ankles or the big toes, but if you want to take hold of the outside of your feet and just ease your knees down towards the floor, that's good. Keeping your ankles directly above your knees and your feet flexed. Lovely long, slow, deep breath in again. And as you breathe out, just ease down. If it starts to feel painful, just release. You find what in yin yoga is described as your edge, which is the place where you feel that you're getting a really healthy stretch before it moves into anything unpleasant. So if you're in an unpleasant position, just release until you're there at your maximum healthy stretch. And then hold. Breathing really deeply. Gazing up towards the ceiling. Keeping your head nice and still. Try and flatten your back. Shoulder blades flat. Ease your shoulder blades down your back as well. Just one more lovely long deep breath in happy baby pose. And then just hug your knees in so that you can move yourself into a position where you can do a lying supine twist. So it's the lying down with your arms out to the sides, where you can lie down and hold the twist. I'll move down here a bit so you can see my whole body. Arms out, knees bent, and we'll start by having the feet together and just breathe in really deeply and try and imagine that you're filling up your whole chest. And then as you breathe out, just take your knees over to your right and turn your head to your left. And that's it. You're really trying to keep both shoulder blades down on the floor and allowing your spine to twist from your waist down. and the knees just drop down so you're not pushing them down, and you hold it there. Just lovely deep breaths. See if you can get that sensation of dropping into a pose rather than pushing or forcing into it. Become aware of how your head and your neck feel as well. So you may have to make a little adjustment to your chin so your head and neck feel comfortable. Again, think about your shoulders being down, away from your ears. So now breathe in and squeeze your abdominals in as you bring your knees up to the centre. And as you breathe out, slowly take them over to your left. Again, just let the weight of your knees take you down a little bit deeper and become aware of where that twist is. So we're working on the upper body being really still, shoulders down, shoulders back. Shoulder blades are like plates which stay connected with the floor, and your lower body moves away from your upper body in this twist. It's more about allowing your body to do what it can. And with the restorative poses, it's all about staying in the pose that little bit longer so that it's not just the muscles stretching or the joints mobilizing, it's all of the connective tissue. So that can be at the joint itself, so your connective tissue like tendons, ligaments. Also the fascia that surrounds everything in the body. So your fascia, a little bit like cling film, it can become very dry and tight, but if you're in a pose like this, just holding it, resting in it, it can become elastic again, it can release, and you can get rid of tension that you may have held in your body which originated in your mind. You know how easy it is for the shoulders to creep up to your ears when you tense. We tend to be aware of that one. Well, that can happen in other parts of the body as well. So just staying symmetrical, allowing your body to drop into place will help to release all of that tension. Now take a deep breath in and come back to the centre, squeezing your abdominals in as you bring your knees in. And as you breathe out, go into apanasana, which is the one where you hug your knees in like this towards your chest and just bring your forehead up towards your knees. And if you don't like the head up, just rest your head down, squeeze the legs in a little bit more. And in that position there, just loosening your back, flexing it gently forwards. The next pose we're going to do is Sphynx pose. So if you release your apanasana, which is the counter pose for a back bend, and then just come down onto the floor. So you're on your tummy And Sphynx pose is elbows underneath your shoulders, forearms out in front of you, and your lower ribs tend to touch the floor, but you can lengthen your spine forwards and up and just lift the lower ribs away from the floor if it's comfortable. Slide your shoulders down your back, and then if it's comfortable again, lift your chin. If that bothers your neck, it's not important, that one. You can look ahead or look down. If you want to, you can just bring your elbows a little bit closer, makes it slightly harder. Be staying here for a little while, so choose something that you feel you could stay in, and don't hesitate to release it if you need to. So if you need this to be a little bit less intense, slide your hands forwards and just let your lower ribs rest down on the floor. So you can either look up, look ahead, or look down. Just find something that feels really comfortable. Then bring your attention into your hip bones on the floor, and think about the hip bones being in contact with the floor so that your back can really bend. Opening up, stretching the front of your body so your abdominal muscles really do stretch when you're in a back bend like this, lengthening them. But when you do a back bend, really working the muscles all the way down your spine. In this back bend, it's the big thick muscles, erector spinae, that you're feeling most of all. If it begins to become uncomfortable, make your adjustments. And just do about 5 more lovely long slow deep breaths here. And if it becomes too much, put your hands like this and rest your head back down onto your hands so you're not staying anywhere that feels bad. Nice deep breaths. And bring your awareness into your toes. Just check that there's no tension in your toes, ankles, knees, calves. When you're in a back bend, your bottom muscles, your glutes are really working hard, so you can't relax those. And it's really good to think about moving your body forwards and up to get a deeper bend. Just hold it there. Say another 2 breaths, deep ones. That's lovely. Now when you come out of this, think about replacing your lower ribs first, middle ribs, breastbone, and then the forehead on top of your hands. Just stretch through your legs, moving your legs out away from your hips, and rest your head down. Take a few deep breaths there. Close your eyes and gaze into the dark space behind your closed eyelids. If you look into that darkness, no judgments, no need to worry if your mind's really busy. Just become aware, and that's the thing that we're looking for, awareness. And from here, we're going to do a gentle quad stretch, and we'll do that first, and then if you feel that you'd like to do a half bow, we won't do full bow in the restorative class, we'll do that afterwards. So if you rest your head down and rest it on your right hand, And take your left hand behind and put your hands on the top of your foot if you can reach. If you want to, you can just leave the leg with a knee bent, easing your heel towards your bottom. So you're reaching around and helping it if you can by drawing your heel in towards your thigh, keeping your lower leg and upper leg aligned together at the knee. So you're resting your head down, drawing the heel in and noticing the whole of the front of your thigh really stretching out. It's a beautiful stretch. Keep filling your lungs and drawing the heel in a little bit further if it'll go. And if not, or if you need to release, just release. And then you can come in again. Slow your breath down so it really feels as if you're using your breath. To get the best stretch you can get. Just one more deep breath here. And then you can release the foot. Just let the foot come down nice and slowly. Bring the arm round slowly and swap over. So now bring your left heel in. Heel to bottom. Just letting the rest of your body relax. Drawing the heel towards your bottom just as much as you can. And using your breath to do it. So a lovely deep breath in as you think about drawing it in. And then breathe out and ease your heel towards your bottom. And you're getting, again, it's your maximum stretch. And staying in this position, stay for about 3 more breaths, using your out breath if you can to draw your heel in. Looking at the dark space behind your closed eyes. And then just slowly release the leg and bring your hand back round. And then you can decide, you can do the same thing again if that feels good, or you can try a half bow. Bring your right hand round and take hold of your right foot. Take your left arm out in front of you. So you've got your right heel into your bottom, left arm out in front of you. And as you breathe out, you lift your upper body a little bit. So I'll show you on the diagonal. So you have hold of your foot and you reach your arm out, lift your upper body a little bit, and you can lift your thigh if it's comfortable, lower it down if it's not. And just hold that for 2 more breaths. One more. And then slowly bring your body down. Lower the leg. Swap the arms over. So you now take your right arm out and your left hand behind. Drawing the heel in first. And then lifting your upper body. And seeing if you can lift up the left thigh. If you lift up the left thigh, you're going to feel an extra stretch. You have a hip flexor stretch going on there. at the same time. So you've got the back, shoulder, thigh, and then just release that. Come up onto your hands and knees and drop your bottom back onto your heels and rest in child's pose. So the ultra restorative child's pose. If your knees hurt, you know that child's pose can be done lying on your back, drawing your thighs in. So you can do apanasana instead, but you still get that lovely flexed spine after a back extension. You can do a little scan through your body just to make sure that everything feels really rested. Check that your forehead is relaxed, so you're smoothing away any lines in your forehead and lines in between your eyebrows, so you're smoothing away any frown marks and smoothing away around your eyes, softening your jaw, letting your chin drop slightly away so there's a bit of space in between your teeth. And then you can move into shavasana, as we have about 5 or 6 minutes left, and I'm going to read to you for some of that. So if you lie on your back with your arms slightly away from the sides of your body, shoulders down, shoulders back, legs out in front of you or knees bent if you need a little bend in your knees. It'll depend how your back's feeling. And then you can let your feet just roll out slightly to the side. Cover up with a blanket or put some socks on just to make sure that you're not in a drafty place and you can really rest. I'm reading from this lovely book, Yoga Nidra. So if you rest in shavasana, and I'll read rotation of consciousness to you, to try not to be cut off in the middle of it, but just if we are cut off in the middle, just get in touch with me on the WhatsApp group or directly and let me know how it went tonight. Relax your whole body, breathing away all of your tensions and weariness. And feel that you're becoming really heavy. Become aware of the parts of the body I'm naming without moving them. Just following the instructions without sleeping. Become aware of your right hand, thumb, second, third, fourth and fifth finger. Whole right hand, whole right arm, shoulder, right side of the chest, waist, hip, whole right leg, foot, toes, 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. Now the left hand, thumb, second, third, fourth and fifth finger, whole left hand, whole left arm, shoulder, left side of the chest, waist, hip, whole left leg, left foot, toes, 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5.